Shoot. Good morning, Doug. Thanks for doing this.
Absolutely. Morning, John.
You have obviously more roster spots available at the beginning of the season, but there's also still a lot of pitchers in camp. On what criteria are you guys evaluating these guys as they're pitching in the simulated games, inter squads, without like stats or the competition you would normally have in spring training?
Yeah, well, the stat part of it, we're keeping that on our own, kind of. A little bit different. I guess we're going a little bit on what we saw in the spring. I don't know about other teams, but Homie and I were on twice a week Zoom calls with our guys. Video sent to us on a daily basis with workouts. Guys that were working on certain things in their deliveries, making sure we're hitting our checkpoints. So we've been on top of these guys, probably to an annoyance to them, but at least it proved to us, the guys that were getting their work in. I guess as far as the stats go, you have to make sure that your baseball eyes aren't lying to you. It's kind of cheating. We know our hitters inside and out, being pitching coaches. Hey, don't make a mistake here, because the only ball that he's going to drive and hit out is down in, has an upward swing. Hanser, be careful, first pitch, middle in, up. He's got the short arms. He'll drive that to right. So as far as the stats go, you just have to hope that, everybody knows that spring training in September is the hardest time to evaluate, especially talent. And you can have a young guy that comes in throwing 98, he can mow everybody down. Doesn't mean that he's a guy that goes out and throws 60% strikes, has a breaking ball that's sufficient at the big league level. He can just get by with pure stuff. So we have to just make sure that we communicate with Hyder, we communicate with each other, we're communicating with Holt on a daily basis. Holt's here, and make sure that we're not fooling ourselves.
All right, next up, Dan Connolly.
Hey, Doug, thanks for doing this.
Morning, Dan. How are you?
Good morning. You just kind of detailed for us, I'll make sure I'm a little louder. You detailed for us that, the preparation of all these guys while they were off. And when, we talked to Brandon and a couple other people, they talked about how good they looked, and obviously the guys were doing their work. But injuries are part of the game, and, when they get to you now at this point with 2 weeks to go or whatever, everybody's stepping up their game, and they haven't done this before this way. I mean, we've seen a little injuries here and there. How concerned are you about injuries, because these arms are doing it differently than they have in the past, for these next 2 months? Is that a huge concern for you?
Probably more so now than any time I've ever thought about it or worried about it. Because we don't know the quality. You don't know the quality of the attack when these guys were at home for 3 months. Are they facing high school kids? Are they facing junior college kids? Are they facing legitimate? Blyer was facing Goldschmidt and a bunch of other big leaguers. The intensity level is always different in a simulated game than it is a real game. Even if you don't have fielders on the field, it's hard to simulate a real game in simulation, only because, one, you don't have the adrenaline factor. You're working on stuff. You're not always working on getting the guy out on 3 pitches. You're out there maybe, and Tommy Malone came to me the other day and he says, hey man, I still need to work on stuff. I need to throw my breaking ball backdoor. That might not happen as much in a real game as it does right now. So you take your simulation. Yes, I need you to compete, but I still need you to work on the things that we're lacking on. And that's where the concern comes, because you don't necessarily see the crispness of the attack as much as you have. I'm trying to make this pitch. I'm trying to find my arm slot. It's been off. And that, I think, and Ben would understand this a lot more than certain people because he did it, and it's like a guy comes to spring training and we know come opening night when the lights flip on, he's going to be 97, yet he's living 91, 92, trying to throw strikes, trying to get his release, trying to get that feel. We're in a short window here, and that's why the concern. Every single day we end our morning talk with, listen, you have got to be 100% honest with us. You have to be 100% honest with yourself. Know what your body's telling you. If you feel achy, we still have enough time in this 2.5 weeks that are left, or 2 weeks that's left, to skip a day if need be. And, we've already seen it. We've lost one guy, and it's a heartbreaker because, he's not 21. He's 30 something, so you've got to hope that there's enough time in that guy's career left to make a comeback.
Next, Rock Kubatko.
Hey, Doug.
How are you?
Okay. How are you feeling about your rotation depth right now behind John and Alex?
I always worry about the rotation when you have this little time. It's not the depth that I'm worried about. It's can we get these guys enough innings so that we're not killing the bullpen in the first 2 weeks of the season? I have two veterans looking at those spots right now. I've got LeBlanc and Malone. They've been there. They've done it. Two very savvy guys, two guys that know how to pitch, two guys know how to work their way through a lineup. Cole Stewart, younger guy, probably a little more energetic, athletic. Worry with him is, did he get enough? Did he get enough while we're gone in that 3 months to be able to build up to where we need him to be with the 2 weeks that are left? It's a question that'll haunt us the rest of the year, But we had Ty, we have Shep, we have Eshelman, we have Woj, we have LeBlanc, Johnny, Cobber. We have enough in those five, if those five guys are to make it, to get started with and hopefully finish all the way through our 60 games and into the playoffs if we're blessed to make it. I think we're fine.
Stephen Lesky.
Doug, in looking for improvement from the bullpen, where do you think it can come from? I mean, as you have some young guys who maybe you'll have all year that last year came later in the year, some additions. Where do you think the improvement can come from?
I think the bullpen looks good. Still don't know who's going to close. Don't know if it's going to be Michael. Don't know if it's going to be Harv. Don't know if we're going to mix. If there's lefties, hell, it could be Blyer. The thing that I like is the work that's been put in by the younger guys, mainly Harvey. Castro worked his tail off, sent videos mostly twice a week. Made some big changes in his delivery that allows him to throw more strikes, quality strikes, attack the strike zone, smaller misses. Primarily going to work out of load and go. The quicker he moves, the quicker the arm gets to slot, the less mistakes he's going to make. Velo's there, up to 98 last night. I think that guys like your Sulcers, your Lakins, Sulcer was with Tampa, did a very, very fine job for them. He's not, the nice thing about that is he's not just a one-inning guy. We're going to have some guys that are capable of 2, 3. Tate looking very well. Unfortunately, the line drive off the elbow, it's about the size of my knee right now. We're going to have to give it time. If he's not ready for opening day, he's not ready for opening day. He gets his innings down below, and we call him when we need him. That being said, we don't know if he'll be ready opening day. For me, I think those guys are in a good place. They're working hard. Not only are they, in sim games, zeros don't mean anything to me. It's the amount of strikes they're throwing. It's how they're getting to their counts. It's how they're putting guys away, and it's the worrisome for me is that we're not facing the Yankees and we're not facing the other AL East teams in scrimmage. We're scrimmaging amongst ourselves, and that's different.
All right, just a reminder, if you have a question for Doug, please put your name in the chat. And next is Rich Dubroff.
Hey, Doug, how you doing? You've been sort of referring to the intra-squad games, but you only have 3 exhibition games, a maximum of 27 innings. How uncomfortable does it make you that you're not going to be able to probably get every pitcher in an exhibition game?
I'd like to have had 10, to be honest with you. I think the way it works out, it goes our first 3 guys. I think that, the way that we've set it up and the way that I have it on paper, it's going to be Meansy, Cobb, and LeBlanc. I'd like to have more, but I'll take the 3 because 3 is better than none. And I haven't looked because it's so far ahead and we have so much work to do. Somebody said, I think we go to Philly and then we come home and then we go somewhere else. But I'll take the 3. I'll take the 3 with those first 3 guys because those first 3 guys slot on the 19th, 20th, and 21st for the next outing to be opening day, second game, third game against Boston. So I'll take it. It is what it is. They're doing the same thing. So we have to hope that those 3 games get us enough that we can get maybe the other 2 guys to go down and stay at home and pitch, against the filling guys at the offsite. Still not the same, but we'll take it.
John Muley.
Doug, you mentioned, just to follow up about Cole Stewart and whether he would be built up enough from what he did during the shutdown. I know we only saw a little of him during the actual spring training. Was he dealing with something physically that was lingering, or was there something else going on that was limiting him and the work that he might have been able to do?
No, I don't think so. The thing for me is this is a guy that's probably high risk. We all know he's diabetic. Probably doesn't recover as fast as other guys. So we have to make sure that we space him out and make sure that he has time to recover. Recovery in this shortened, spring 2.0 really kind of puts limitations on certain guys. He's a guy that I have to watch closely. He's a guy that has to communicate on a daily basis, ask him the questions that we have to ask to make sure that he's feeling great. He's been fine. We had to hold him back one outing. He had a little cramp in his calf, and after what happened to Ty, there was no way I was going to let him go. He wasn't real happy with me. I'm okay with that. It's my decision to hold him out. He was fine. Pitched last night. So, it just sets him back one day, and that's not going to be a problem. We can make that day up.
Dan Connolly.
Yeah, Doug, just one last question as far as your situation is concerned. Obviously, when all this came about and people were talking about people with medical compromisations, they talked a little bit about you. What was the conversation between you and your daughters and your wife like? And now that you've been through this and kind of seen how everything is set up, what's your thought on the decisions to go ahead with this year?
I will tell you that the Baltimore Orioles have done – I don't know what's going on in other camps, but I can't imagine that it's any better anywhere else. They have gone out of their way. We've got admittance trailers out front. Our medical staff, our doctors have really set us down, talked about what can go wrong, what can't go wrong. Obviously being high risk because of the heart and the asthma. I wear my mask more than anybody, even though I have it off my face right now. But other than right now, I don't think half the guys know that I have a goatee and not a beard. I am in my mask all day, every day. When I was pending, I wore this mask with the N95 under it, and you can't breathe, but nothing's getting in. I don't know any other way to say it. Very anal about washing my hands, not going to my mouth. Thank God I don't dip. Just, when you have the mask on, there's nothing you can do. There's nobody spitting. There's, and it's funny because you'll see a guy warming up and he'll go to spit and he's like, oh God, I can't spit. So guys are going out of their way to wear their masks so that guys like myself don't get put in any more danger than what we could be in. The conversation with the girls and the wife was one of, if I feel at any time I'm at risk, I'll probably come home. If we came into camp and a few days went by and 6 guys came up with COVID and I was around it, I probably still wouldn't be here. That being said, it'd kill me. It's baseball season. This is what we do, and we're going to do it, and we're going to be careful about it. I'm going to be smart about it. Hyder talked to us. The entire coaching staff felt that if any time we become uncomfortable with it, our decisions can change, and he won't hold anything against us. So I think all I did was, hey, baseball's starting up again, and I'm leaving in 2 days. I think the girls understand that. They also know that I am going to be very careful. I wore a mask the entire time that we were off. Wore gloves when I went anywhere. And, I keep my distance.